Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. Listen closely as your coaches discuss the culture, the economy, and the political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, welcome to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, hittnergroup.com, 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. Give us a ring-a-ling-a-ling. Be happy to have a chat with you about your real estate needs. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, like in the next 3 years, call Keith Jr. He'd be happy to have a conversation with you, kind of work you through that process. 612-627-8000.
If you need to buy or sell a home in the next 6 months, call Keith Sr.
Okay, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
I don't mind the seller follow-up as much. So if a seller's like, I'm going to move in 3 years, it's easier to stay on top of them and kind of check in with them quite a bit.
And there's many times they've got
they
stuff.
Think 3 years.
They've got stuff. And we met with some people, as a matter of fact, this week. Nice true story. Had a pool in the backyard, filled it in.
Okay, yeah.
Filled the pool in.
Serious?
Yeah. And
how much does that cost, you think?
I know.
Didn't you do
I'm
that?
going to have to ask them. No. Well, yeah, when I developed land.
Yeah.
But that was different. Anyhow, so they just, kids got grown up and nobody used it anymore.
Yeah,
and
there it sits, hole in the ground.
There it sits, hole in the ground, into which you pour money. And so, they decided to fill it in. Now they got a nice flat backyard overlooking some woods. But my point is that you go in there, and they're looking for a one-level townhome situation to kind of move that way. And, they've been there 8 years in the house. The carpet's original, so you're going to get an email with an introduction there. And they got some little paint touch-ups to do here. They've done, thank God, some bathroom updates. But, it's all a process. And sometimes the process is significant, and it can take a couple of years, and very specific about what they need. And that's not uncommon. But a buyer that's 3 years out, it's like, man, you don't even know what the market's going to be like in 3 years, So, okay, so here's a word, kids. 5,500, almost 5,600 homes on the market, about 9% up from a year ago. That's super duper. We're almost at the point of 2020, 2019 pre-COVID. We're still just like a couple hundred units down, so that's
not bad.
That's
so
not
it's about
bad
the same.
Yeah, about the same.
Good.
But up significantly from the COVID situation. Properties continue to move through on that thread of about 800, between 800 and 900 new pending sales a week. Steady Eddie as it goes. And it's been that way for months and months and months. And it just seems like it's about 850 to 900 homes in a week. Days on market seems to be holding steady at just about under a month. Nothing. I mean, it's just a stable,
steady market.
Almost don't want to report on it anymore because it's the same.
Yeah.
Same as last week. Just a steady spring market. Good market. Not as robust as some as we have seen. But that's because recently, like within a few years ago, we saw markets that were abnormal. So I'm happy with it myself. I think it's.
What do you mean by abnormal?
Well, I mean, when it was just like insanity out there.
Yeah.
And, you look at some houses, and right now, good house, we'll still have multiple offers on it.
For sure.
Have this conversation. Clean houses in good neighborhoods that are well prepared for sale. They're dialed in, show ready. Are going to sell, and you're probably going to have multiple offers on the house.
I used your comment a few times this week. Nice homes sell fast.
Nice homes sell fast. And then if it's got any kind of we could have put this house on the market with that carpet in it. It's bad. I mean, not horrible, you know what I mean? But
right.
There's track marks and it's bad. It's very obvious that it's old. And you put that on the market at a prepared for market price, it's just going to sit there.
Mm-hmm.
You're just inviting a reduction, so.
And longer market times.
And longer market times, which means lower price.
Yep.
And all of that. If it's all tuned up and ready to go and looks like lipstick on, face washed.
Tell them a little bit about just the program you use to do that, where all the work can get done on the front end. I don't think people realize that's such a nice benefit you do.
Yeah, so with anyone, we go into the house like that many times, especially a move-up buyer. They've got all of their money is going to go into this new house, and they've got just enough to get the new house purchased. And then you say, well, now you got to fix up the house that you're at. You need carpet, you need countertops, you need this, that, and your painting and all that. And it's like, well, geez, I don't have another $30,000 to spend here.
Right.
How are we going to do that? So what we do is we just say, we'll take care of it. So we send them in. The guys will go in there, they'll paint, they'll carpet, they'll do whatever, and then we just pay for it up front, and then we settle up at closing. And it's a good service, nice service. It takes that off the table, especially helpful in divorce situation or maybe if there's been a death or something like that, and you've got somebody that's moving to a smaller place because their husband died or the wife died. Now they want to move to a townhome, and their mind just isn't in it, and they just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. It's like, man, you're going to regret that attitude.
Yeah, you can do a couple things, and then it's kind of hands off too.
Yeah.
They don't need to do much.
Right.
There's less juggling, I think, to have it coordinated through the way that we take care of it.
Yeah, and they sell quickly. So last week we talked about the brick rambler that I had coming on the market. I was looking at the video, the drone work that we had on that house, and just the yard and stuff like that. What a pretty house, man!
Really,
it's just a gorgeous house. Sold.
Which one is that?
Sold right away. The one in Eagan.
Oh, it's sold already.
Sold, yeah. Sold the first weekend.
Nice
Put
job.
it on, and we have backup offers on it, so that if something happens to the first one, we got people waiting.
Nice.
It's a really pretty house in a pretty area, 4-car garage, and then we had. Tom never got to the carpet on yours. Sold.
So that's good that it's sold.
Yeah, I know. The property sold anyhow, and same thing. We got backup offer waiting on that one. They're hoping that the first one falls apart so that they.
God.
Wow.
And the agent emails me, if anything happens to that one, let me know. These people really wanted that. So that's nice. Nice to have.
But they didn't offer enough to get it. Like when they say they really, really want it, they weren't.
It's so fun. And this.
Or they didn't get the offer in time.
They didn't get it in on time, and I sent the thing out and I said, the deadline's the deadline, and we've got one that is good, so we want to accept it. So get yours in here, and so that we can look. And they just, they just want to sleep on it. It's like, we ain't sleeping on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sleeping on it, so get it in. So we signed it up, and the next morning he goes, yep, they're ready to go. I said, it's too late.
My favorite is when not really my favorite, but you don't always know the situation on the other side.
Yeah.
And say you sell a house, sign the purchase agreement, and then like 3 days later they say, oh, hey, can we bring the husband through the house now?
Oh, God. Yeah.
No.
Like, oh, the husband never saw the property?
Yeah.
No. Oh, that's great.
That's
Oh,
great.
no.
Wow.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You ever have them fall apart then after that?
No.
Or not? Okay.
No, but what we were getting a lot of a couple of years ago were the sight unseen offers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And sight unseen offers are similar in a sense where they're like I think that they're hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had those fall apart quite a bit.
I have had those fall apart
sure.
to the point where I now recommend that we don't accept
Yeah.
a sight unseen offer because
you'd rather turn it on.
Yeah.
If you have something that's coming soon, and this was the case a lot of times just a few years ago where we put something on coming soon and people are sending offers in, just want the property.
All right.
And they haven't even walked through it, and then they have inspections on their sight unseen offers.
And that's when that's the escape clause.
Yeah, you're going to get out of that deal. And so it's hard to recommend to a seller to do that. Unless there's a non-refundable earnest money. I mean, that's a way to handle
That's
that
a way to handle it.
situation.
Right.
And say, okay, pony up $10,000. It's non-refundable today. And then we'll accept your,
How often do they
sight
say,
unseen
okay,
offers.
here's 10 grand?
Well, not anymore. We're not getting
Yeah,
those.
right.
But, there were scenarios where people were super confident and they would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times they do the sight unseen offer, or I would say, look, I'll adjust the coming soon time and we'll let everybody know that the showings are going to start Wednesday instead of Friday. And then you guys can just go Wednesday. It's like a Monday. We're having this conversation. And then they go on Wednesday and then they call me, yeah, we're not going to make the offer.
Yeah.
A
lot of
exactly why we didn't want to encumber the property with a purchase agreement.
Right.
with somebody that hasn't even looked at the property.
Right.
Investors do that a lot. So
Yeah.
your national investors, they'll submit an offer, investment offer, and it's got a 10-day inspection period. And then after that, that during that 10 days, you're going to renegotiate that. Because now their guy comes in and it's a as-is purchase.
Right.
And all of a sudden it's like, well, you need new furnace, you need this, you need that. And so then we'll move ahead, but at, $40,000 less than our original offer.
Yeah.
Very typical.
Well, spring is upon us. Now is the time. If you're thinking about selling your property, give us a call. 612-627-8000. That number again is 612-627-8000. Or as always, you can log on to our website, hittnergroup.com. HITTNER group.com. There you can search for properties, check your home value, check out the blog all at hittnergroup.com. And the phone number one more time for you, 612-627-8000. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. HittnerGroup.com, 612-627-8000, 612-627-8000. Give us a ring-a-ling-a-ling. Happy to have a chat with you. Love talking about real estate. It's the funnest thing in the world. Go to a party, tell them that you're a real estate agent, and you spend the whole night talking about real estate. Used to tell Sheila, don't tell them what I do. Don't tell them what we do, because you wind up talking about real estate all night long.
New customers.
Yeah, I know, but people are just curious, and it's fun. Fun to do.
It's fun, but just don't say it.
But don't say it.
Just not tonight.
Don't say it out loud, because I just
We
want to
need a break.
Don't say it. So tired
All right.
of this.
Tom Mashad, TPM Flooring, the beekeeper.
The beekeeper.
Tell me about the beekeeper.
What's the beekeeper? What are you talking
Oh,
about?
we'll hear.
All
Pay
right.
attention.
Okay, I'm going to focus.
So for the last few years on the property that you guys helped me with to get, we now have 2 different hives out there. So we keep the bees. We're beekeepers.
Yeah, beekeepers.
We lost one of the hives though because of the weather. They were
Yeah.
making it through, and then that cold snap hit. And so we lost
Do you
the hive.
cover them or?
Yeah, you insulate them.
Okay.
Yep. And then so one makes it, one doesn't.
Just not good enough.
Just not good enough.
Apparently not good enough.
Well, they say if you have 2, if you get one that makes it through, that's a good year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which the first year none of them made it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you learn from your mistakes. So so what's left is the honey, right? So we harvested that. We had 3.5 gallons of honey just from that one hive.
That's nice.
So,
So do you go through that much honey or what? I'm a honey. I mean, am a honey guy.
So
Do you spin it? Do you have a?
I have an automatic one.
Oh, you do.
So yeah, I'm not going to sit here with my hand.
My buddy has his hives, and then he has a bike attached, so he just sits there and pedals in it.
Well, that's cool.
Kinda cool.
Yeah, super
Mhm.
cool.
We're lazy. We'll just let the
You
machine
push
do
the
it.
switch on.
We push a button.
Push a button.
But it's fun. I did it with my daughter this time, so that was fun, just hanging out with
Yeah.
her and doing that. But over the years, we've got last year, to whatever, it was 9 gallons. So
9
we're giving it away.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we got to the end, I go, oh, we need another jar. My daughter goes, we don't have any left. I'm like, what are you talking about? So this time we've got 3.5 gallons. I said, oh, so who are we going to give it to? She goes, no one. I'm like, what? I guess the kids use probably about 2 or 3 jars a month. I didn't even know that.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it's fun. It's just a hobby,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to go to the
Well,
Eagan
where do you-
whatever
Craft show.
And start selling it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, my daughter took pictures of what people were selling these. I couldn't believe how much people were willing to pay.
Yeah.
Well, my
That and
daughter,
eggs. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
my daughter, Keith's sister Renee, used to have bees in Thief River Falls, and they never make it through. So every year she's getting a new queen, and
yep.
starting a new hive and stuff like that. And she used to always bring down quart jars of honey, and I love honey.
Right.
So I'm scrounging honey from wherever I can get it, because we go through. That's the only sugar that I would. We
Oh.
don't buy white sugar, so
I'll steal one from my house and give
there you
it to
go.
you.
Is it good
great.
honey?
Oh, you can so tell the difference between store bought.
Isn't that the truth?
local.
Really?
Really?
The store-bought
Oh,
honey,
really?
they got to put like corn syrup or something in it, because it is, and sometimes it's the dark. It's like dark. Like we get some from Costco. You got to be careful about where it comes from, because the honey tastes different from
Different regions.
different regions
Mhm.
because of the flowers that the bees bring the stuff back from, pollen back from.
Wow.
So clover honey is like super duper. I mean,
So
that's
do you go
really-
buy a bunch of bees every year?
It's called a package. We get a package of bees. Yep.
Okay, where do you buy those at?
Nature's Nectar. They're in Stillwater.
Okay.
They bring them in, and we put them in our hives, and hopefully they
And
make
do you
it.
get all covered up with
Oh yeah.
gear and do
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that?
I've tried to get in there other times when they're busy, so they leave you alone.
Yeah.
Still get stung.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm putting
Really?
this back on.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Sheila's father, who's passed away now, but he used to drive a tanker truck, and he would haul corn syrup to bee farmers.
Oh, sure.
In a full 10,000 gallons
Serious.
into these big farms for the
do what?
spring. Well, because in the spring they come out, then when they wake up, they're hungry.
Yep.
And there's no flowers out there, there's no food for them, so they'll perish or they won't thrive as well.
Yep.
So they feed them, and they go through that stuff like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Between that and eggs, we're doing well.
Well, you have chickens now?
Oh yeah, we got a rooster too.
Oh, good.
So now we got
your neighbor loves that.
Now we got enough space. No one cares. No one cares at all. But now we just hatched the first 3
Okay.
just yesterday. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, I never thought I'd do this stuff in my life. And then here
Who's
we
this
are.
guy?
Exactly.
Keith is out buying chickens. Did you buy any?
Not until we get back from spring break. I'm
Okay.
not gonna deal with it while we're out of town.
Where are you gonna get them? Tractor Supply.
Yeah, I'll just get some birds.
They're
from there.
gone as soon as they show up. They're gone.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what he
I know.
said.
It's crazy out
Yeah,
there.
they only yeah. We're gonna get into chickens.
Yeah. About
Okay,
these
so-
houses.
So you've got some news. You got a new system in
I
place.
do.
that you-
I do.
Tell us about that.
So the new system is they finally got the technology right.
Okay.
So I can walk into a house with the laser iPad and make a plan now, and I can turn it into 3D and do all that stuff with it. And then if they choose a carpet from us, they say, "Oh, we like this one." I literally can just drag that carpet in there, the price and all that, not the color and what
Yeah,
it looks like, but put it in there, and I can say, "Okay, that room is this many yards or this many feet. It costs this much." I mean, just there on the spot. And if
Now,
they wanna-
does it calculate your waste and all that?
Everything's
based
done.
on?
Yeah,
based
I mean,
on-
I have to put the stuff in the system before
Sure.
it goes in. So now,
It builds in the high margin.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
these days,
Yeah.
good luck.
Yeah.
So right now, I just had 4 measures on Monday. Walked in, did it, showed them the stuff. Here's the price. They're like, okay, let's do this. So then now they can sign on the spot. I can forward them their signed contract. I can then forward another sheet to my office. So there's the cut sheet, so my installers have it. If it's a product that we have in stock, then they just cut it and we show up in a couple days and install it. If we have to order it, you wait about a week.
Mhm.
And then we get that in. And it's the streamline is so nice because there's no paper. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, losing anything. I don't have to worry about did I make the right cut on this, because when you're freehanding it and going pretty quick, old
Mhm.
school,
Yeah.
you might miss something.
Okay.
Well, when you've got a plan, if the wall doesn't quite look right, you've got it wrong.
Okay.
So now with what we're doing, the installers love it. So they get an actual plan of what they're walking into.
Hmm.
They know where the cuts go. They know where the waste factors are, what to
Mhm.
use on stairs, things like that. And it's not just carpet. It's LVP. It's wood floors when we
Mhm.
sand and finish
Everything.
those, ceramic tile, things like that. So
Wow.
How accurate is it when you use it for the cutters? So if it says you're going to have 10% waste, is it working out that way?
It's
for
pretty
you?
close because with carpet and LVT is roughly somewhere between 5 and 10% waste. You just can't help that.
Mm.
And if it's a small job, it's more.
Yeah.
With carpet, it's 12-foot wide product. I mean, the waste is the waste. Sometimes you're going to have a 2-inch by 20-foot long cut, but what are you going to do with that 2 inches? There's
Mhm.
nothing you can do. But the waste factor is somewhere between 8 and 12% on carpet, from what I've been seeing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with waste? I'm just curious. I know it's not, but I'm just
Well,
curious.
if it's a big enough piece, like where if we can do stairs and stuff like that, we'll roll it up and say, here, in about 5-6 years, your stairs are going down a little bit. They're going to carpet's still there, it's just matted down.
Mm-hmm.
Call us, we can put that in for you.
Hmm.
No one does it. We always, because you forget it's there.
Yeah.
You just do it where you could in 5 years, if you gave us a call, we could come in and install that stair. Same dye lot and everything. Now it looks brand new carpet on your stairs.
And people don't realize, I think, that when you have a run of carpet on stairs, it's not all one piece of carpet.
Right.
It's all, cuts of carpet. Each individual
Yeah.
step has its own piece of carpet. So you don't, those little pieces work well.
Yeah. And we're not going to leave little things around,
Yeah.
right? It's going to be
Scraps.
something. And some people, if they're selling their house, like, we don't want it.
Yeah, right.
So we just get rid of it. Now, we don't throw it in the dump. It all gets recycled.
Okay, that's what I was
The
curious.
pad gets
Okay.
recycled. The carpet gets recycled.
They go shred it up and do something with it.
Yeah, so a lot of times we can send semis and that the mills have around. We put it in there, and they send it back down. They can recycle it into new carpet.
Mm.
The
Oh,
pad,
wow.
they clean it, and if they're able to, they can make it into rebound pad. So that's what that is, to make it into new pad. And if it's beyond repair, they they do something with it that they put into concrete into on the streets and stuff that makes it stronger.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know how they do it, but they figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
There's little waste out there getting the dump.
One of the things I find that people have a hesitancy about carpet is they look in their room and it's never an empty room. There's furniture on it.
Right.
And it's like, how do you deal with that when you've got a big 2-story house?
Mhm.
Every
Yeah,
level
it's
needs
okay.
carpet, and every level is jam-packed full of furniture. How do you deal with that?
We just finished one in Eden Prairie. So it was, they're probably a 70-year-old couple. All the kids are gone in the house. They haven't done the carpet in 20 years. So we phased it for them. We went in, we took 3 of the 5 bedrooms, pulled those out, did those, put all the furniture back in,
Okay.
and then continued on with the rest of the house is what we did. So that way we didn't have to bring furniture up and down. They didn't have to worry about
Stairs and all that.
any of that stuff or calling, where are the kids, can they help us out,
Mhm.
or call the neighbors or friends. We just helped them stage this thing so it worked for them. And a lot of times we'll do like a Friday, the first phase, and a Monday, the second phase, so that they can relax a little bit in the weekend and get stuff back together
Sure.
instead of, hey, we'll be here tomorrow morning.
Right.
And then they're stressing out.
Tom, why don't you give us your contact information, website, that type of thing?
It's tpmflooring.com, and our phone number is 952-746-5157.
Tom Mashad, TPM Flooring, tpmflooring.com. Thanks, Tom. We'll see you next segment. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. Log on to our website at hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com. And you can give us a call, 612-627-8000. That number again is 612-627-8000. And we'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. HittnerGroup.com, HITTNER Group.com. That's all one word, kids. HittnerGroup.com, 612-627-8000. You get a little chuckle out of that?
Yes, you're
Every
funny.
time. Okay, so last segment we talked about residential single-family carpet.
We talked about bees, Keith.
And
Talked about
bees,
bees,
too.
yeah.
And it's the bee's knees. Okay, so then also, what about hard floor surfaces, ceramic tile, those kinds of LVP?
Mhm.
It used to be that you were in the higher end homes. It was just like it was going to be ceramic in the master, or it was going to be some kind of a thing
Wood
like
floor.
that. Yeah. What do you see now? I mean, you seeing that kind of trending away, or?
No, it depends on the house, right? People are still liking hardwood floors, on-site sand and finish wood floors, ceramic
Really?
tiles in those bathrooms, things
Oh.
like that.
I would have thought it went the other way.
I would too.
However, everybody's loving the LVPs.
I love the LVP.
Yeah, me too.
So you're seeing the new houses, you're seeing that everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And there are not all of them are created equal.
Okay.
So there are some that are very inexpensive. They look nice at first, but they're going to scratch.
Yeah.
They just
The
are.
contact paper starts wearing off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks good for a while, but it will scratch. But now all the mills are coming out with some really nice stuff that they say is scratch free.
Mhm.
I'm not sure about that. However, it's almost like the days of laminate of old, where you couldn't really scratch those things
Yeah.
that much. They figured out the technology now.
Okay.
And all the mills have one out there. A little bit more expensive, but not much. Compared to wood, it's like a third of the cost, right?
What about the thickness?
What about it?
Well, I mean, sometimes you see that it the tongue and groove and all that stuff, and it's like
Yep.
half-inch thick, and then other
Oh, sure.
times it's like real thin. Does that matter?
Well, a little bit, yes. So some of it is sound.
Okay.
So a little bit thicker, a little bit different. So it's a deadening sound. So
Okay.
remember back in the laminate days, you'd drop something on it. It was just like a hollow,
Yes.
crazy. You'd walk through the house and it echoes
Click,
throughout,
click,
right?
click. Yeah.
Well, you really don't have that. If you've noticed that in LVPs, when you walk through new houses or your own house, if you've got one, it's really not there. It's kind of deaden that sound a little bit.
Okay.
It doesn't give you cushion or anything like that. It's just it deadens that sound quite a bit.
I've sold condos where they banned hard floor surfaces for that reason, because the person below, it was the sound just penetrated right through, and
Yeah.
there's no way to
A lot of them
Really?
have restrictive covenants regarding putting hardwood floors on
Yeah.
Mhm.
upper level units.
Yep.
Main level you can.
Yeah.
Upper level units you can't.
Or you do a wood floor, like a floating cars wood floor, really nice wood floor. Did that, my folks. But what we had to do is put a rubber mat
Mm-hmm.
underneath it, so the sound
Deadens
just
the
completely
sound,
deadened
yeah.
on that one. But the mat is expensive.
Yeah.
However, your finished product is great. So
Let's talk about
Interesting.
commercial, because that commercial is a large part of your business.
it is.
So tell us what kind of projects you're working on. I love the commercial application because I think that there's more variety there in terms of materials. I mean, you walk into some buildings, you go, God, that would look great in my house, but nobody's selling that for a house.
Right. Believe it or not, they're still doing a ton of LVPs and all of that. They're doing ceramic tiles, obviously, in the bathroom, things like that. Like we're working with, I don't know what I can say, what I can't say on certain things. So like the national chain restaurants, things like that. We're doing a lot of that. That's obviously all ceramic tile that we do. We're doing assisted living. You see that happening all over. We just got another one. Just talking to you guys a little bit about that.
That's kind of a crossbreed there because you got people living there, so it is kind of residential-y, but it's more commercial application.
Yeah. So
What do you put in those? Is
So-
it carpet or is it
carpet
LVP?
tile.
Yeah.
So we'll put carpet tile in the units, and then
Okay.
we put LVP entryway, so it kind of looks like
Why
a nice-
carpet tile?
It's so when they need to change something out,
They take a square out, right?
yeah, they take a square out that's a 2x2, 2 foot by 2 foot, and it's releasable adhesive. So we put it down. It's called it flashes. It's still tacky to the touch, but when you put it on your back to your hand, you don't feel anything. It's pretty neat. So we put that down. So if they're maintenance people, like if some of these got wrecked, they can pull 1 or 2 or 3 out and put a new one right back in. So now they don't have to redo a whole room. Where before they did broadloom carpet, and if a stain happened in the middle of it, they're redoing the entire place. Now they don't have to do that. That's why they're doing carpet.
Do you
tile.
see the seams? Does it look like?
Oh yeah, you're gonna
squares?
So a lot of times they quarter turn it. So if let's say it's linear, one's going left, right, the other one's going the other direction, so you can see it.
That's
Or
intentional.
So they make
It's intentional.
design then,
yes,
right?
yes, yeah, yep. So you see a lot of that. LVPs, carpets. It's the same stuff you put in your houses, except for the carpet tile. But it's the exact same stuff we'll put in.
Oh, it is.
Some of it's floating, some of it's glued down. It all depends on the application on that, but. Offices are always fun. People are having a lot of fun in their offices these days with the carpet tiles and the LVTs. Just the patterns that they're throwing out there.
Why?
Who designs the? If I say, hey, come into our office, we need to just refresh this and make it fun.
Oh, so
Who does that?
sometimes they hire the architect with the designers, but if they're just doing paint and carpet, there's times where my designers will go in there from the mills. This is their background. They'll come in and say, what are you looking for? They'll work with them, and they'll come up with a color scheme for them. So here's carpet, here's LVP, here's paint, here's all this stuff for you, and we'll give it to them. We don't charge for that part. I just want to do the job.
You guys should do that,
right.
Calvin. Just do a full refresh.
Yeah, you
That's
should.
probably gonna
Refresh
help
it,
bring in
yeah.
some more business.
Yeah,
Sweet idea.
yeah, it's a good
Sweet
idea on
Yeah,
that
spend money to make
on that
money.
leased
No.
office space.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Done.
What about branded items? You mentioned you work with a lot of the national brands and stuff like that. So do they have like branded carpets that go in there, special mill runs or something like that, or do you see that very much or not so much?
No, not so much. No.
We have in our master bedroom, I talk about this all the time just because every time I go in it, I just love it. In our master bedroom closet, we had carpet when we built. And the carpet, can you imagine going in there for 20 years, kicking your shoes off, and they're wet and all that stuff. And you put some kind of a rubber, a rubber floor in there. And it looks great. I mean, it looks just like a wood floor. And
Is it
it's
like a gym floor, or what is it?
it's just like, you tell
Yeah.
me, it's just like indestructible too.
So you have the sheet vinyls, but then you have the commercial sheet vinyls where it's like a Forbo, things like that. It's all natural. So when you put that in, it's
Forbo? I'm sorry.
That's just a
I don't
mill.
know.
It's just a mill. Sorry,
Oh.
it's a brand that's been around forever. Everybody had that in their houses back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. That's just what was in the kitchens back in the day. And you put that in, and it's actually it's got a cush to it.
Cush to it, yeah.
You don't have to. It's waterproof. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So when you come out of the shower, if it gets it doesn't matter how wet it gets. Just wipe it right up. You're good there. It's just, and it looks the concrete, wood, tile. It doesn't matter what look you want. They've got one for you.
So how does that adhere on a large surface? So what my question is if like Keith has a swimming pool in his backyard with a concrete patio, could you put that material as an exterior application over that concrete?
No.
And why is that? Just doesn't do the
The
cold?
mill, cold Minnesota, but too, the mills would not warranty that thing at all if we
okay.
put it out there. Plus, I mean, you're looking at safety things and everything with
Slippery.
pools. Yeah.
Slippery.
But in yours, you could do different things on yours. Yours is inside.
Yeah.
And your
So it
mansion.
isn't the water so much. It's the
Elements.
outside elements.
Yep.
You should do that, Senior. Change it
about
up
that.
a little bit. Maybe
Yeah, for the
refresh it.
swim pool
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, put money into that business.
You gotta
Yeah.
spend money to make
Fast,
money.
Gotta spend-
spend money and make money. Yeah.
We're spending your money today.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be an
Don't bring me
interesting
up
application to
about
that.
the
I
patio
think.
and all
It's also rubber flooring. Your son, you put yours in yet?
Yeah.
Did you?
Mhm.
How long did it take?
that. I don't know.
It was easy, wasn't it?
I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it not easy?
No, I just remember after we gave it to you, and you said, "Oh, I still haven't put that thing in."
Yeah, it
room
sat in
yet."
my garage for a good year and a half, I think.
What are
What
the
was it?
interlocking
The
pieces?
interlocking
Yeah,
pieces.
interlocking pieces
It's-
of rubber floor in
yeah.
the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We did that. I did that.
Did you?
Did I
And
order
it's
that
easy.
from you?
Yeah, that was so. I did that in my garage.
Probably.
Yeah.
Can you get like a sheet of that stuff and have it fit the space? That would probably be a better way to do
It's
that.
4 foot wide. Is how they
Okay.
make. It's too heavy.
So the
Yeah, it
seams,
is heavy.
So the seams. Yeah, I think I got it down nice and straight. I think
Mhm.
when I got to the edges, it was a little bit like, banging the pieces in
Sure,
a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But no, it's fantastic.
We're selling a ton of that to DIYers right now.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Everybody wants a home gym.
Yeah.
Like, here, I'll drop it off for you if you want to install it.
And it is heavy as it can be.
Well, we'll install it too, but a lot of
Yeah,
people want
and
to do
there's
it
different
themselves.
thicknesses of that stuff, and I think mine was a little bit thick, so it's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
heavy stuff.
really nice. It's really nice.
Is that similar to what we have in the pool room then?
I have no idea what
That's
you have in your pool
the,
room.
under the table, the main table. There's that rubber workout
Yeah.
mat under there.
I don't know. It's a legit gym floor that I have.
Yeah.
That's
what we
nice.
have too. All right, give contact information again.
TPMflooring.com. The phone number is 952-746-5157.
How's the
Okay.
website? A lot of options there.
You can go click the button and sign up
Has
for a
your
free
number
measure.
on there?
It's got the measure. Well, you can get financing if you want. If you need it, we can finance. If you want to set an appointment right there on the spot, it does that as well. So people seem to like it. It's easy.
Pictures of your products and wares there.
Some of them they're
Okay.
changing constantly. It's
Now,
hard to
and
keep
there's
up.
so many.
Yeah. Do you guys have a showroom?
No, it's all mobile.
All mobile.
Oh, everybody loves it. I haven't.
Just show up to the house and bring the samples
Do you
right
have
to
a
them.
big van then, or what do you do? with
Yeah.
that?
So we show up with that, and people are like, "I don't have to go anywhere. I can just shop from my house. You can see it in your house." People, it's been going. People love it. Sorry for
deal.
stumbling
All
on
right.
that one. So
Connect with Tom online, tpmflooring.com, tpmflooring.com. Thanks for coming in today. Nice to see you, Tom.
good to see you.
Give us a call, 612-627-8000. That number again is 612-627-8000. And as always, log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com. We'll be right back.
This is the big money segment of the program, Your Real Estate Chalk Talk, with Kelvin Kamick.
A lot of
651-231-2500. That's the number. Write it down. I'm going to say it again. Get a pencil. 651-231-2500.
a lot of talk on honey today in the show.
Yeah, honey pie.
Honey pie. So
That's what I call my puppy. She's my honey pie.
Okay, your puppy.
Mm-hmm. Brisket, the world famous therapy dog. I call her. She's my honey pie.
That one's still alive.
Yeah, she is. She's 12 years old.
All right,
Got a couple more years left in her.
Yeah, retired though.
She's retired. Yeah.
retired. That's good. We had to put ours down a couple weeks ago now, so that's always sad.
Get yourself a Burmese mountain dog.
Why would I ever do that?
Well, because the poop is so big that it's easy to pick up because you can see it.
Don't do that.
God, I'd never do that.
Oh man,
It's
they're so
I'm
lovely.
Get a
sad.
horse
I'm
and put it
sad.
in your backyard.
Yeah. I'm sad for our loss, but it is sure nice to not have to worry about
Yep.
running home. Oh, who's going to be around the house to make sure Tanner's out? Da da da. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, wonderful. So not to say it's wonderful to put your dog down, but it's okay. So what's going on? It's okay. It's okay. I mean, we were just busy, so he was healthy.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Didn't have time for him anymore.
Didn't have time. So what's going on in the real estate market? Let's get going.
Real estate market is stable as able.
Okay.
About the same as inventory as pre-COVID. We've got 30 days on the market as average. We're moving through about 850 homes a week in the 7-county metropolitan area. If your home is clean and well prepared, it is going to sell and is going to sell in most cases in most price ranges with multiple offers.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that in multiple price ranges. That's
Mhm.
curious you said that because
Yeah.
we're seeing that right now as well. So higher end stuff, still multiples.
Yeah.
Lower end, obviously multiples.
The only difference between now and 5 years ago or whenever the market was so high, instead of getting 20 offers on the house, you're going to have 3 or 4.
Mhm.
You know, but it's still enough to have active competition amongst
Yeah,
the
you like to.
buyers.
Hopefully, you can at least get 2.
Yes.
One works though too.
One
as
works
long as it's
too,
a good solid
as long
offer.
as it's a good solid offer,
Yeah.
but you
We
can
got a
always leverage.
Great place coming on the market in Lakeville. It's 19. Get your pens out. 19585 Hazelnut, 6 1/4, 4,300 square feet, 5 beds, 5 baths, 3-car garage, deck, walkout basement, Jack and Jill baths upstairs in one of the bedrooms, so that's nice. Nice big loft upstairs too. Nice flex space on the main level.
4 beds up in a loft.
Chef's kitchen. Yeah, it's a big home.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, nice size
Where's
home.
this at?
Finished
Burnsville?
basement. Lakeville.
Lakeville.
Yep.
Really?
Lakeville North School District. Nice location, corner lot.
Built early 2000?
Great property. Mid.
Mid-twos?
Tell me, the price seems low.
6
Price seems
1/4.
low. Yeah, doesn't it?
We'll get out there then.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy it?
Buy it. Flip it.
Man.
You can
Yeah.
flip it.
It's a good price. I sold one in the neighborhood at the end of last year, and that was mid-5s. It was a little bit smaller and had an unfinished basement. This one has a finished basement, and it's a little bit bigger, 4,300 square feet total finish.
Wow.
Nice house.
That's
nice
great.
big home.
Good. Keith, you got anything coming up?
I have a 2-story in Eagan coming on the market. That's about 4,000 square feet, just a tad over 4,100 square feet. Same thing, 4 bedrooms up in a loft. Looks like a show model house. I mean, it is. I watched the videos. We got the video work done and all that stuff. And I watch it just for entertainment because it's so good. I mean, it's just gorgeous, And I
That's
showed it
great.
to someone yesterday. And boy, that's a beautiful house. $775 coming on the market next week.
Okay.
It'll come up as coming soon. Keith and I were talking about this morning about when we should bring it coming soon, and they kind of decided you're right. I'm going to wait for a week and bring it coming soon next week.
One question for you guys. So tell me about escalation clauses. Like them, believe in them, don't believe in them. I've had
I tell
realtors
people
this week that
I don't pay any attention to them.
You don't? Okay. Because we won a deal by using an escalation
will.
clause, and we got 2% seller pay closing costs.
Yeah, unless
which was interesting.
that would have been with me. Because then what I do when I go back, I say make your best offer. Not your best, maybe it's going to be a good offer. I want your best offer. So I give them a chance. I just go back to them and call them up and say, we don't honor an escalation clause. So if you want your offer to be considered, then write it correctly. And that is offer me a price.
So they go on there and they say, we'll buy it up to this price so long as somebody else pays a little bit more for the house. Then
Yeah.
we'll buy it a little bit over
Right.
that
So
price.
And we've had dueling escalation clauses, and
Yep.
it just,
So just
Excuse me. Yeah.
so why
they always have a cap on, or usually they'll have a cap on them. So
escalate.
if you're
offer $400 with a $10,000 escalation clause.
So put it at 410, and then we'll look at it.
Okay.
That's how you do that.
Okay, I'm just curious because I have realtors that use that
I
and
know.
have used it successfully, and then
Sure.
others that just have a bad attitude towards it.
Yeah.
So.
Others
right.
that have had more experience.
Right. So talk a little bit about interest rates. Fed met this week, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Give you some headlines. Post-Fed rally is nice, but not quite exciting. Bottom line, this is just from the article. The bottom line is that the adjustment was mildly friendly for bonds today, even if it was technical adjustments and not an indication of easing monetary policy. So basically everything stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're really going to focus.
What did the Fed say then? What did they do?
They held everything steady, and their line is
Meaning
that
what? They're not
Raising,
not lowering, stay holding the course. The committee is strongly committed to supporting maximum employment and returning inflation to 2%.
That's just a blah blah blah.
That's all they say, right? So, it helped rates. Rates went up the day before the Fed meeting. The Fed meeting happened. Rates came back down a little bit. So we're kind of mid sixes. FHA you can get a little bit lower. Conventional you're 6.5, 6.25. Probably high sixes is safe. The things that impact it. Your credit, because people say, "Oh, where's rate?" Well, then you talk to them and they say, "Well." Then their credit comes back at a 601 credit score.
Right.
Well, you're not going to get the best rate then,
That's
right?
right there, yeah.
Down payment, how much are you putting down? What type of property is it? And we're looking at refinances. People are kind of looking at some refinances, but again, cash out refinances because I've got $40,000 of credit card debt. Well, you can only go to 80% loan to value.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, in the one I'm thinking about, it didn't work. But what I came back with was our closed end second. So you're not on a variable interest rate on that second mortgage or a close-end. We can do a 20-year term or a 30-year term. And that was a better solve because they have a 3 1/8 30-year fixed rate. And they're willing to give that up for about 7%, but I just didn't have enough room to solve their problem. So I used our close-end second, left the 3% in there, close-end second at about 8 1/4. Well, we'll probably end up like 7, high 7s, low 8s, right? Heck of a lot better than the 29% that they're paying. And when you amortize that thing out over 20 years, the payment was $400 and some a month. We are going from a minimum payment on everything of $1,200. So it's like they're like, oh my gosh, $800 cash flow savings.
Right.
You know, I'm like, that's great. So I said, now take that $800 you used to, throw it at, let's fix the rate on this thing, and now let's
it's hammered.
Now let's just hammer.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case.
I'm sure they won't now start to use their credit cards again.
Exactly. And also use
That's
the
my
savings.
only fear.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And that
They just run it back up again.
Hopefully you can change habits, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, so
How talk about down payment though a little bit. You mentioned down payment. How much is that impacting the rate? So if I'm like 5%, 10%, if I have the cash, what's the cost benefit there?
Well,
in your opinion,
yeah, it used to be a cost benefit. It's just one of my talking points. Here's the reality: put 5% down, because they got rid of all these it's called LLPAs, loan level price adjustments, and they removed them to basically benefit people that put less down. We use that money now, and we give a grant. You don't have to pay it back, but it's a $3,000 or $4,000 grant. But if you put 6% down, you don't get it, and if you put 4% down, you don't get it. 5% down, we give you free money, and it's not.
It comes from somewhere.
Yeah, right. So they removed these loan level price adjustments. What Loan Depot did is they said, hey, we have this chunk of money. Do we want to lower the rates all the way as low as we can, or should we offer a grant to help people offset closing costs? And it was cool because they came to the management of the company and said, hey, what do you guys want to do? And we said, hey, let's give money back so we can have a $4,000 grant.
Is there a maximum loan amount that applies to? I mean, are you targeting a certain?
Not really.
So then it gets down to personal preference and payment and things like that.
Yep.
I mean, for me, I've always, the last couple houses anyhow, 20% down, don't want mortgage insurance. I want my payments to be at a certain spot. So maybe I'm putting, more than 20% down just to have my monthly nut be where I want it to be. That's a luxury. I understand that. But so it doesn't make a big adjustment.
Not a big adjustment.
It comes down to personal preference.
My favorite this week was 1.5, 0.5 buy down, where we start 1.5 points under the market. So we were 4.75 start rate, and like, oh my gosh, that makes my payment perfect. And now I've got that for a year, and then I step up a little bit, and then we think rates will come down. So there's a whole strategy.
So you got 2 years to watch.
2 years to kind of see what happens and how this all plays out. So Kelvin Kamink, Loan Depot, love to have a conversation with you regarding your situation. 651-231-2500. And that is it for me.
Calvin, can't thank you enough for all the time.
Oh my gosh, it's been wonderful.
Log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com, or give us a call, 612-627-8000. That number again, 612-627-8000, and we'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Your Real